In my last video, I talked about how the Dempsey roll is a switch hitting technique. So now in this video, I want to talk about how Ippo training as a Southpaw will help him evolve as a boxer. Well, first, let's go back to the very beginning, the one time Ippo went Southpaw. And I'm talking about in his debut match. Now, Ippo didn't really have a choice but to go Southpaw. Oda was aiming for the cut in his left eye, so Ippo doing that would make it harder to hit. But here's the problem. Ippo threw a jab and felt awkward. He didn't know how to throw a proper jab as a Southpaw. But the first jab that did land led to a flurry of jabs that eventually knocked Oda out. Still, to this day, Ippo has a problem with throwing the jab as a Southpaw, but then at the same time, this is his first time training as one. There was another time where Ippo did go Southpaw, and this was late into the manga, and that was with Kojima. Basically, Ippo got viciously countered and was about to get KO'd. But Ippo caught himself and prepared to try again, but unnoticingly hit back while in Southpaw style. Right here you can see his right foot is forward going for a left hook, or maybe you could say this like some kind of semi-Dempsey roll because of the one punch that he put his entire weight into. So overall, I think Ippo didn't have that much trouble as being a Southpaw. But if he keeps up the progress that he's made so far, I think he'll be a pretty good Southpaw boxer. Now, how do I think this can help Ippo grow as a boxer? He did have a brief experience against a Southpaw, and that was against Shigeta. Ippo was trying to get his rhythm going, but he was struggling. He did find out that when he was fighting him, the timing and the angles were different. And once again, this montage showed those differences in Southpaw style. It was just up to Ippo to figure out the timing and angles of a Southpaw. I can guarantee Ippo is gonna add Southpaw to his new style. Back then, he was so eager to KO his opponents. Now he's so selective with his punches, he's not risk getting hit over and over again just to land one punch. He might even mix Southpaw with his counters. We've seen it happen with Randy. Right here you can see Randy at Southpaw. Now watch this. His opponent was going for the right cross and then Randy goes for the counter. And right here he switched to orthodox. It is hard to see because this is a double page and the line cuts through, but he is standing at orthodox. And I believe Ippo did something like this too one time. In his match with Sawamura, he did the Dempsey roll and stopped himself midway. And then the second time he tried it, he dodged Sawamura's counter, switched to Southpaw, and countered the counter. And lastly, now that he's training as a Southpaw, his options for punches and rotation has increased a lot. So he's likely to turn Southpaw to throw his opponents off. He might even throw Ricardo off. Well, Ippo is the type to run into punches to throw one back. That's part of the reason why people think that he can be beat. But then, Ippo's unrivaled desire to win a fight makes him do things that throw a lot of people off. It threw Vorgan Sendo off when Ippo did the vertical motion for the Dempsey roll, so it's a 100% guarantee that he'll throw Mashiba off when they spar and Ippo goes Southpaw. So, Ippo going Southpaw is one of the best, if not the best thing that he could do to evolve as a fighter, and then eventually learn how to become a switch hitter.